More than 65 Wisconsin organizations are demanding UW Health and the Children's Hospital of Wisconsin reinstate gender-affirming care for transgender minors. The two hospitals stopped providing that care in January after the Trump administration threatened to cut Medicaid and Medicare funding to hospitals that continued. Protests were held at the state capitol last month. In a letter to the CEOs of UW Health and Children's Hospital of Wisconsin, the organizations say in part, quote, "The provision of gender-affirming care is how we ensure Wisconsin's transgender young people can become the healthy adults and compassionate leaders we know this state needs," end quote. Advocates say they will continue pushing for change until the hospitals reinstate access to care.